So, hey, before we get started, I have a quick announcement. This week is a really big one for us. We are recording from our new home at Center Culture Studios inside the former CNN Center in downtown Atlanta. If you're watching on YouTube or on a podcast player that supports video like Spotify, Podbean, or Apple, welcome to our very first video episode. If you're listening on a different app like you normally do, don't worry, you're going to get the full experience just like always. Quick programming note before we get started. Arts ATL's Best Bets will be back next week. Instead, today we're taking you behind the scenes of this incredible new creative space. You'll get to meet the people helping transform Center Culture Studios into a home for Atlanta's arts community. We'll also revisit the surprising story of the world of Sid and Marty Krofft. It was an indoor theme park that once occupied this very building. Please note that story was recorded a few years ago when the Krofft brothers were still with us. And we'll close out today with hearing how Gallery FC is using art to help shape Atlanta's future. All right, on with the show. The ATL Arts Collective, powered by Arts ATL. If you are curious about the people making Atlanta a more creative, interesting, and joyful city, you're in the right place. And today is an incredibly special day for the show. We are broadcasting from our new home at the center. And we're also adding a video element. If you prefer to listen in audio, we're not going to leave you behind. You can still absolutely do that. And anything we talk about we'll describe for you, so you are along for the ride. So you already know that this is a highly collaborative show. And collaboration and generosity is the reason we are here today. So let's go around the table and talk about all of these amazing people who made this happen. First, we have Ryan Howard with CP Group. We have Alex Francombe with Downtown Atlanta, Inc. We have Neda Abgari with ASHA Advisory. And we have A.R. Cooper with Gallery FC, also known as Coop. And I'm going to call you Coop if you're cool with that.
Perfect.
All right, let's do it. So would each of you go around and just tell me how you're connected to the project and why arts and culture is important to you and to this project and to this building?
You're looking at me, so I'll go first.
Yeah.
Ryan with CP Group. So we are the owner of the project, of the building, the developer, the redeveloper. Why it's important to me is ever since my childhood, I've got creativity and creative soul inside me. And I think it's never really had the opportunity to fully get out the way I would have liked to have. So this has been an exciting opportunity to really allow that to happen to some degree and meet some incredible folks and, see things come to life. But it's important to bringing that and the importance to the building is this building is now 50 years old, and it's always been in the sports and entertainment and media space of Atlanta and in some cases the world, largely with, CNN, this being the global headquarters for CNN. But we know that we're in the sports and entertainment district of Atlanta when we're down here around all the arenas and the venues and all of that. And we celebrate sports, we celebrate concerts, a lot of music and those aspects of Atlanta's culture. But we recognize there's more to Atlanta's culture than just that. What better platform than a large building with exterior, interior surfaces and ground floor spaces to feature incredible works of art?
I feel like this is really unique. I don't know of other large building projects that would have incorporated it this way. Is this something you've ever done before in your past?
Not to this scale, no. But we do recognize CP Group has done versions of this in a smaller scale. We have a project down in South Florida, the Boca Raton Innovation Center, that we've done some partnerships with a few groups. We have artist studios there. galleries set up. That evolved into galleries, that evolved into events, that evolved. And we saw the power of what, that the creative community can do for activating and bringing interest to our properties. And we sort of started with that seed of an idea, and, in conversations with Atlanta Downtown Inc., and it grew, right? And we are really glad that it did, and it's continuing to grow, and it will continue to grow.
Amazing. Alex, how did you guys get involved?
So we are both the improvement district. So as a landowner here, it's a natural fit that we're involved in any kind of project. I lead the art and activation team, so anything art related comes under my domain. I think we initially got involved because we also oversee the sign district, the arts and entertainment sign district. And so there's 3 large advertising signs on this building that we have the permits for. And so we were involved at that. But then I think working really closely with Netta, we've known each other for a while. I think we've been like sort of email friends, never really meeting in person.
Right.
And so when I started, Netta called me up and was like, "Hey, let's grab coffee." And you had like a list of ideas, and I was kind of just like, okay, I was just like week 1 on the job. And so I think from there, we were trying to work out how we could leverage the revenue share that we get through the digital signs to then really foster a creative community downtown. That's one of the key things of the key objectives of what we're trying to do. Yeah. And it's great when we can work alongside property owners who are really invested and see the vision. A lot of the time it's us kind of dragging them and saying like, "Hey, can we do some public art?" And then it's like no response for a week, and then you might get something back. So it's great to work with like co-aligned partners.
Yeah, pretty different. I want to show a picture of another project that you've worked on before. What can you tell us about this?
So this, it was from a group from Australia, actually. They do these touring aliens. This was part of a temporary art exhibit that we had in Woodruff Park. One of the things that we try to do is also just provide these novel, unique experiences downtown so that people see downtown as a place that they'd want to go rather than a place that they have to work or they have to see a concert. That it's really a destination for people to come downtown. And so I think this was a great example of providing these novel experiences. They're adorable. They light up at night. So it's just really fun and unique experiences, and that's what we're all about.
And you guys were also involved with some of the World Cup murals, right? Was this one of yours?
Yes. So the idea behind that was we tried to understand how people would move around downtown from either their hotel or from a MARTA station to the stadium. And we've kind of found that Andrew Young was this natural corridor that people already use, but it's also the back of house for a lot of buildings. So like the Western, the America's Mart, a lot of it is just loading docks and blank walls. And so we saw this as a great opportunity to bring art, to revitalize this corridor, to guide people to come downtown. And this was a great way of kind of celebrating Atlanta's love for Waffle House.
This is Nick Turbo Benson, and we have had him on the show talking about this mural before. He put so many little fantastic Atlanta Easter eggs in it. Andre 3000, he said, is stacking the creamer cups 3 high for his nickname, 3 stacks. He's given a little A-Town Down sign in it as well. I feel like this got so much attention this year.
Yeah.
People have been loving it.
Yeah, I mean, people were lining up to get the memorabilia as well from the the World Cup waffle collaboration.
That's great.
It's just it's great to see people really passionate about their hometown and I mean, this is probably our favorite mural of all the ones that we created. No dig on the other artists, but this one is,
it's pretty special.
A jewel.
It's fun.
It's pretty special. Well, speaking of special, that brings us to you, Netta. You are special. Tell us how ASHA got involved. And what ASHA does. I mean, for the unfamiliar.
Sure. So ASHA Advisory is an arts and culture advisement group. And we work with municipalities, with property owners, to activate the public arena through arts and culture.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that we became involved is actually, it kind of happened at the same time. So as Alex was coming into his position and we were having these conversations, Bame Joyner, who's a colleague of ours, introduced Ryan and I. And I guess Ryan had asked him if he could curate some art. And he was like, well, I'm a culture curator, but my friend Netta over here, she can curate some art for you.
And for the unfamiliar, this is Bame from Atlanta Influences Everything,
Bame
right?
Joyner,
Yeah.
right. So Bame works with us, and he's great, and he made the introduction. And then we started having these conversations and talking about this magnificent, iconic property and what it means for Atlanta and Atlanta's history and how arts and culture could really help to elevate the story. Not just from the past, but moving us into the future.
Yeah.
And so I was asked to begin a curation of a visual arts program.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you guys know me now, like when I get into a space that's so big, so beautiful, with so much possibility, my mind just starts racing. And then it's like, hey, Alex, type. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Coop, let's figure this out. Hey, Kim.
I love it. I'm so grateful that you reached out. This has been just a joyful collaboration, and it's just starting. I mean, everything from here is just going to grow.
And so, just, working with people who understand and are open to ideas and flexible and how they come about is really what has brought this all to life. And it wouldn't be possible without CP Group and the center and Ryan and Chris and Scott and Amanda and the whole team.
Yeah.
Because it's really their company that is excited and supportive.
I know you've done stuff like this before, but did it feel a little more unique when you and Ryan started collaborating?
100%.
Yeah.
The project in and of itself is so unique, right? I think Ryan spoke a little bit about his background. And just, having an interest in art and it being a part of his life. And that's always transformational in projects like these, but to the degree that Ryan is interested and excited about not just visual art, but culture, it created an opportunity for us to really dream and explore and think big.
Talk about what you're thinking about for the future. What is going to happen with the CTR, with culture, and your involvement?
Sure. So Center Culture is kind of the umbrella. Within that umbrella, we have partnered with Downtown Atlanta, Inc. to bring aboard Center Culture Studios. That is a collaboration between Atlanta Downtown Inc., CP Group, also Fulton County Public Arts Futures Lab, and the Creatives Project. And this space is going to be an arts and culture incubator with a focus on technology and storytelling. A shout out to Ted Turner for inspiring us. And we envision this space as a place for creatives to collaborate. You might be a visual artist who is interested in technology but don't have the resources or the connections to the equipment. Well, Fulton County is stepping in to support that. We hope that with everyone being in this space, there's going to be opportunity for cross-pollination and collaboration and experimentation and all the shuns. And we're really excited about it.
That's great. And are you doing residencies? Is that still on the table?
So, yes, we are doing a residency where we invite artists, creators, makers to apply, and their applications are being reviewed right now.
Great.
To share the space. There's seven studios. And in addition to that, we'll have public-based programming. So nonprofits and organizations can also apply to receive space.
Love that.
For programming, and we're really excited about it.
And so one of the tenants that's moving in is Tea Lang Dance, right?
That's right. So Tea Lang Dance is part of the area that we're kind of taking over in the center. Their new home is going to be on our first floor, and she's bringing her entire company over, and they're going to be experimenting, providing classes. They're starting a new program themselves, Ursula Major, and then ATL Arts Collective.
Yeah.
So here we are.
I have an office now in that same area, and the thing I'm most excited about is the idea that there will be working artists within feet of where I am doing my daily work. And if they are doing a project and they're frustrated, they want to vent to the void, they can just stop by and hop on mic and tell us all about it. It's so incredibly exciting. So incredibly exciting.
Big thanks to these two fellas.
Oh, the biggest of thanks. The biggest. So, Coop, your involvement was the one that surprised me, I think, the most, because I'm most familiar with you from Art in the Paint. For those who don't know the organization, would you describe the really cool work you do there?
Okay. Art in the Paint, we do creative placemaking, programming, and policy work around making our community safer through art and athletics. We've been able to find this really cool niche in culture throughout the world. We've done over 102 projects, literally all around the world in 12 countries. So, yeah, that's Art in the Paint.
Wow. That's amazing. I did not realize the scope was global. Wow. Congratulations. And so your affiliation here is you have started Gallery FC. What does the FC stand for?
For community.
Love that.
Anyone who knows me knows I'm Atlanta born and bred. I'm all about our community, and having these wonderful people give me an opportunity to include the community, which, we see spaces, we see new things happen all the time. And folks always feel like, oh, this isn't for me. So even my presence alone means that these people are really aware of that and want to make it a place that's inviting for everybody. So I just am really grateful for that. And when the Black and brown community see me here, they know they have a place.
I love that. And so you guys just finished your first exhibition. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I can. It was amazing. We had an exhibition with Dr. Dax, which is, one of my favorites. I'm an Atlanta guy, so anytime you can have any affiliation with Dr. Dax, it's a real thing. I grew up around the corner from the dungeon.
Oh,
so
wow.
having a dungeon family member, be able to collaborate with us through the wonderful Netta here is just amazing. Being able to see all the people of all walks of life come out last night was just like, wow, this is really happening.
It was really special.
Really happening. Yeah.
Super special. I did get a chance to go to that closing party, and the vibe was just out of control. Like there was just so much joy in the room. Yeah. Well done. Netta, Coop, and I are going to talk a little more in just a bit because you have another exhibition that's going to be opening soon, right?
That's right.
All right, cool. I look forward to that. Ryan, if you had one dream bubble you wanted to share with people about what happens next here, what are you thinking?
Well, I don't want the bubble to pop ever, right?
Me neither. Good call.
It's easy to have when you're in the commercial real estate world. We really think about every portion of the project, every square foot. It's easy to say, hey, a mural goes here, a sculpture goes there, something, what I really want to see happen here is that we don't have any boundaries like that. And that this continues to evolve and react to what's happening around it and how, the public is responding to it. We are on the early stages of figuring out some creative, artistic, technology-driven activations that will draw people in, that will become the thing to see.
Nice.
I'm going to be very careful about how much I share, but because we want it to be a secret, we want a big splash when we launch it. And we haven't figured out timing or anything like that. We're on the early stage, but that kind of thing, something where it's people are, you may want to bring family, friends, or colleagues down to say, hey, there's this really cool thing that you've got to go see. But I also want you to be like, I don't even know what it's going to be today, right? Let's go see it type thing, you know? Maybe there's a way to interact with it, right? Maybe there's a way to make yourself part of it, right? What I appreciated and the photo that you had of our entryway that Netta accomplished through her curation.
Gorgeous.
I think if it was left to just us, like, yes, we could meet people, find people, and put this and that there, but the journey as you go through makes sense, right? The color, the texture, the storytelling, it's different artists, but it all makes sense and it works together, and that's important, right?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, this is so exciting. What a great day. What a great path forward. You know, this building obviously was the CNN Center, but before it was the CNN Center, it had a very storied history as well.
Oh boy.
So once upon a time, this was the world of Sid and Marty Krofft. And so we are going to talk about this very short-lived, like so short-lived amusement park that actually took place in this building. One of our contributors, Wesley Boudelier, has done a little documentary. And so we're going to take a break for our sponsors. And when we come back, we're going to hear about the world of Sid and Marty Krofft. Stick around.
Support comes from Mainline Magazine, announcing its weekend-long independent music festival from September 11th to 13th. The independently curated 3-day event features 22 live acts performing in multiple venues spanning Little Five Points, Summerhill, and Decatur. Headliners include CDSM, Scatterbrain, Janie Danger, Mulus, Jonna Camille, Major, and more. Early tickets and more information are at mainlineatl.com/tickets.
We're coming to you from our new home at Center Culture Studios in downtown Atlanta. And before this building was the CNN Center, it was a very, very short-lived indoor amusement park. Our contributor, Wesley Boudelier, dove into this amazing moment in Atlanta history.
Back in the early 70s, Atlanta was going through somewhat of a slump. The term urban decay had become frequently used when talking about the city, and the crime rate was steadily increasing. Needless to say, people were steering clear of downtown. Luckily, Maurice Alpert of Alpert Investment Corporation and Tom Cousins of Cousins Properties had just the thing to revitalize the area. They started a joint venture called International City Corporation and proposed their flagship project, Omni International. It would be a $65 million, 14-story, multi-purpose megastructure located next to the Omni Coliseum, which was already being used for concerts and sporting events. Maurice Alpert described it as a city within a city, which was a pretty accurate description. Inside the Omni, they planned to have movie theaters, restaurants, high-end stores, 500 hotel rooms, 600,000 square feet of office space, and a regulation-size ice skating rink. As if that weren't enough, when plans for a trade pavilion fell through, they decided to designate that area of the Omni to some sort of family entertainment. But who could they possibly call on for a project like that? Enter Sid and Marty Krofft. These two brothers had sort of become the guys to call for things like this. Whether it was designing the characters and sets for the Hanna-Barbera series The Banana Splits, or creating a cast of colorful characters for the Coca-Cola Pavilion at the 1968 World's Fair. One of those characters went on to become H.R. Pufnstuf, the star of the Krofft brothers' first massively successful children's TV series. From there, the Kroffts created an empire, and with it, a slew of trippy TV shows, including Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, The Bugaloos, Lidsville, Land of the Lost, and even the Donnie and Marie Osmond variety show. The Krofft brothers also had experience in the theme park industry. Their fingerprints were all over Six Flags in the 70s. They had their own puppet theaters at several of the parks, and licensed some of their characters to Six Flags as well. They also designed rides at Six Flags Over Georgia, which would ironically become their biggest competition. A deal was made and several major lenders helped finance the $14 million project, which actually ended up costing closer to $24 million. This was expected to be the first of many locations for the world of Sid and Marty Krofft. We've been offered other cities, but we're waiting to see how this one turns out, said Sid Krofft. If it doesn't work in Atlanta, it can't work anywhere in the country, said Marty. Newspapers around the country were already covering the park a year in advance, and as the 2-year project was nearing completion, the brothers and their company really ramped up the marketing. There was an hour-long special all about the park that was televised nationally, and J. Alton Alsop, the president of Krofft International, boasted that their attendance projections for the first year would exceed 1 million visitors. No one could really blame them for being optimistic, though. The Krofft brothers were a proven brand, and the park was introducing some ideas that were pretty revolutionary at the time. As they said themselves, all the fun was indoors, which meant they were able to operate year-round. This led to them implementing an advanced ticket reservation system, much like a Broadway show, which would allow people to reserve tickets days, months, or theoretically, years in advance. This was also done out of necessity due to the park's 6,000 guest capacity. Alsop made sure to emphasize that the park would only take 3 to 5 hours to get through, which would, quote, leave plenty of time for shopping, dining, sporting events, or taking in other activities. By the time the park opened its doors on May 26, 1976, excitement was at an all-time high. The opening of the park was an invite-only black-tie affair with a guest list featuring the likes of Ernest Borgnine, Bob Denver, and even future President Jimmy Carter. Mayor Maynard Jackson called it the greatest opening in Atlanta since the opening of Gone with the Wind. Once the park had officially opened to the public, guests had a lot to look forward to. After receiving a ticket that would be used as a punch card as you travel through the park's various lands, you'd step off the world's longest escalator and be greeted by 2 massive Harlequin statues and a real-life mime who was instructed to bother you until more guests arrived. This area was called Fantasy Fair, and it featured a variety of sideshows and spontaneous performances.
I won't tell you how this is done, but I'll give you a clue. Only believe half of what you see.
Just below that was Tranquility Terrace. You could see even more vaudeville acts here, but the main attraction was the Crystal Carousel, the first new merry-go-round designed in the US within the previous 50 years. It featured hand-sculpted mythological creatures cast in translucent plastic and used aerospace technology to make guests feel like they were floating on a cushion of air. In fact, the Krofft's lead engineer actually worked on the Apollo project. From there, you'd travel to Uptown and hop inside the giant pinball ride, where a gigantic robot would pull back the plunger and send you hurtling through a series of light-up tunnels, leading you all the way to the next section of the park, Lidsville. Based on the Krofft show of the same name, this area was full of hat-shaped characters and hat-shaped buildings where you could buy all sorts of merchandise. This level also included the Lidsville Theater, where guests could see a show called Celebration, which featured a cast of costumed characters, as well as marionettes resembling everyone from Elton John to Stevie Wonder. Guests would then board a mineshaft elevator and head down to the final level, Living Island Adventure, the home of HR Pufnstuf. This ride would send you traveling through a forest of singing animatronic trees as you helped HR Pufnstuf save the day from the evil Witchy Poo. And just like that, your day at the world of Sid and Marty Krofft would come to an end. With so many magical attractions, you'd think this park would have been an instant success. But unfortunately, they were also faced with a myriad of problems. It turns out most people don't want to work in an office or stay in a hotel room that's under the same roof as a noisy theme park. After many complaints, Omni International sent engineers to hang 350 sound-absorbing boxes from the ceiling to soak up the noise from the park. This cost the investors an additional $500,000, and that wasn't the only problem. The executive vice president of Omni International, Sal DePace, said this: "The mechanical rides just caused us fits. Every time you turned around, they were breaking down. When you had a large crowd and the rides would break down, it was disastrous for us." The Living Adventure ride broke down 2 weekends in a row during the summer, which ironically forced the indoor theme park to hand out rain checks to disappointed visitors. Sid Krofft blamed the investors, saying, "The banks made us open before we were ready. After about 3 months, the park was awesome. Near the end, it was incredible, but it was too late." They tried everything to get more guests in the door, whether it was trotting out Witchy Poo and her friends at a Harlem Globetrotters game, or essentially turning the intro for the Krofft Super Show into a commercial for the park. Nothing seemed to work. They had expected 3,500 to 4,000 guests per day, but they were lucky if they got a little more than 2,000 people on a busy Saturday. The downtown Atlanta area was still considered too dangerous by a lot of people, and no amount of circus performers or mythical creatures could convince them otherwise. Sid Krofft said, "The park was in a very rough part of town. The mayor had promised to clean up the area, but it didn't happen. People were scared. People also weren't happy that the park was not an all-day affair. Tickets were $5.75 for adults and $4.25 for children for only a few hours of entertainment, while Six Flags Over Georgia had enough fun to last an entire day. So just like that, only 5.5 months after their dazzling, star-studded premiere, the world of Sid and Marty Krofft closed its doors on November 7th, 1976, having only brought in 300,000 guests in that time. After the park's closing, Marty Krofft told the Atlanta Journal, "We didn't have the opportunity to prove the thing out. We will never know whether it would have succeeded." The park sat there, dark and empty, high above Omni International for years. The joyous laughter and vibrant music, now replaced with silence. There were talks of reopening the park in a different format, but nothing came to fruition. Photographer Jerry Burns was able to enter the abandoned park in 1980, 4 years after its closing. The Sid and Marty Krofft area was sort of a ghost town. It literally had big sheets draped over things. I was talking to our guide there and I said, "What are they going to do with this stuff?" He said they were going to throw it away in the dumpster. This meant bad news for the rest of Omni International as well. The sprawling complex sat mostly empty. The comptroller for one of the restaurants inside Omni International had this to say: "You'd be amazed at the number of hotel guests who jump into cabs and go uptown to dinner, not even aware of all the Omni's other attractions. And if you're going to lease an office, who wants to look out over an amusement park that's standing empty?" This would hold true until CNN moved their headquarters to the Omni complex in 1987, officially rebranding it as the CNN Center. Sid and Marty Krofft, now 90 and 82 years old respectively, are still working in children's entertainment today. They brought Land of the Lost to the big screen in 2009, created a brand new show for Nick Jr. in 2015, and most recently rebooted 2 of their old beloved series for a new generation to enjoy. As a daily CNN viewer, Marty Krofft is always reminded of the park that never quite reached its full potential. When you close a project, usually it fades away. I now watch my park every day on TV. This thing never dies for me.
But this was one of the 8 wonders of the world. If it would have worked, there'd probably be 20 of them around the country. But we gave it a great shot. We did give it a good shot.
That was documentarian and ATL Arts Collective contributor Wesley Boudelier. You can learn more about him via his YouTube channel. It's at Viewist Productions. One more quick sponsor break, and when we return, Netta and Coop join us back at the table for more details on Gallery FC and their newest exhibition. Stick around.
Support comes from Motherlode. Recently featured in Vogue magazine as one of the top vintage spots in Atlanta, this 10,000 square foot space features over 60 local curators and artisans who offer a variety of items from designer to kitsch and from antiques to modern. Located on Covington Highway in Avondale Estates, the store is open daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Browse, shop, attend an event, or wander around and get inspired. Learn more on Instagram at MotherlodeATL.
Welcome back. I am here again with Netta and Coop, and now we're going to talk about Gallery FC and the newest exhibition, which is opening in just a few days. You just finished a really successful one with Dr. Dax. Beautiful, beautiful work. This is quite different from my understanding. It's going to be a group show.
That's right.
And a really large group show at that, right?
We're excited.
So tell me about the idea behind it.
Sure. So we are going to be exhibiting a number of the muralists who created works for leading up to the World Cup.
Oh, great.
The idea came from Alex, who was just on the show, had reached out to me about celebrating all of the artists somehow. And we were talking about an event initially as a thank you. And I love that idea. Of course, we can host it at the center somewhere. Sure, let's do it. Center culture all the way. And then as this gallery has unfolded, this amazing pop-up, I thought, well, hey, why don't we do an event and an exhibition?
I love it. And I love that you're giving a platform to these artists who really came through for Atlanta for the World Cup.
There were so many artists, and it was really amazing to experience downtown Atlanta during the World Cup and see everything come online, and just knowing what it takes for these artists to create these beautiful works and how grateful we all are for them.
Right.
You know, and so
now we get to keep them for the city.
Right.
You know, it was nice to share with the world, but I think today and this show and what you guys are working on now is all about the future. And
That's
how do
right.
we keep getting these artists involved and keep giving them the shine?
I'm all about gratitude. And so I just think it's really important for people and, you know, entities to truly understand like how much we appreciate them. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And so let's put on an art exhibition and celebrate them and have a party. Make it fun.
I love it. Well, let's talk a little bit about an origin story. So you actually have a place to have this party and have this exhibition, and haven't known you very long, Coop. Netta, I've known you a while. We've never had a conversation that I am going to open a gallery one day. Yet here you are. You both are. How did this happen?
Netta, we were having a conversation one day, and we were just talking about what's possible in the center. And being, you know, working with ASHA Advisory in community, we were just talking about it. We were talking about all the artists we work with, all the people we talk to. And it was just common sense that we come to this. What better way than to be able to display artists' work and support artists through a gallery?
Yeah.
Even in my role at Art in the Paint, people always say, well, do you sell any of the artists' work? And I'm like, not really. It's not really my job. I never had any ambition to. But when you have this beautiful storefront, you have to do something with it. So I love that Netta had the mindset to go, hey, let's celebrate, let's do this, let's really support the community of artists, and in this way.
That's fantastic. And this is for the future now.
Yeah, and it's non-traditional, right? So, you know, a traditional gallery will present the work of artists, and they have a certain structure. You know, it is for community. Gallery FC. And so what does a gallery look and feel like when it's programmatic, based on partnerships and collaborations? You know, how do we expand the idea of a gallery when we're inviting in the community to be part of it? So that doesn't look like Netta or ASHA Advisory curating every show. Perhaps we invite others to envision the space for themselves. There's this beautiful space in the back. We can't wait for everyone to come see it. That is perfect for events.
It is quite lovely. Yeah.
And it kind of came down the pipeline through conversations and ideas Coop was having about applying for this grant.
Yeah, downtown Atlanta, Invest Atlanta. Am I missing anybody? Showcase Atlanta really stepped up big in supporting us. And I think it's wonderful. As a kid that grew up in Atlanta and experienced the Olympics, there was always this, well, what happens after? We didn't want that to happen for World Cup.
Yeah.
Not just, you know, from the standpoint of an Atlantan, but what does downtown look like after World Cup?
Right.
It looks like this.
Yeah.
It looks like people coming together. It looks like community. It looks like all the things that everybody loves to see, but nobody wants to pay for. Making sure that we create that ecosystem where people understand that, number one, art does matter. Number two, when culture matters, then we have a little way to, how do I put this? Drive sales, drive commerce, really make spaces like the center, which is where we're housed, even more special because the community is involved with it. So we really had to jump on the opportunity to make it a place where everybody can come, even down to our walls. You know, we have black walls. Not a lot of galleries have that.
Right.
And in certain situations, we are not what people think of when they think about art curation. I'm a former basketball player. African American and Latino, Netta.
Iranian American.
Yeah. People don't look at us and say, oh, those are the art people. Those are the culture people.
Right.
And we wanted to create a space where if you came to our space last night, you see every kind of person, every walk of life. And we are able to connect with people in a different way than most.
I absolutely love that. This is very exciting. It's exciting for Atlanta. It's exciting for y'all.
It's exciting for us.
Yeah.
You know, we've been friends for quite some time and supporting each other from each other's sidelines, like cheering each other on, you know.
Mm.
And so this is truly an opportunity for us to bring our networks together and really build something together. And that's really exciting. You know, and to have this as a canvas, there's just so much possibility.
And I think friends might be a weird word because when I started Art in the Paint, there weren't a lot of people I could look at and be like, I want to follow what they did, look at their path. And I saw Netta, I reached out to her and she was kind enough to let me interview her. I'm like, how do you do certain things, right? And anytime I picked up the phone and called her, she actually answered. She helped me and she helped the development of Art in the Paint. So being able to work with her has just been amazing for me.
You are such a good egg. You're a connector.
Y'all stop it.
It's true. It's true. Our city's art community owes you a debt. You have connected so many of us for years.
I owe it to the city. Like, I love Atlanta so much. You know, I am a native. I went away for a few years in my late 20s from my photography career that actually led me to this work, which was completely out of my anticipation. Like, never thought that I would ever start an arts nonprofit that would turn into a residency program that would allow me to collaborate with developers. That would, I mean, I would have never imagined this, right? And so when I handed off the Creatives Project, Coop reached out to me, and I had like secretly been fangirling on Art in the Paint, like liking all the posts and like, what is this? It's just so amazing. Like, because I've always been passionate about youth. I used to be a teacher, just how to use the arts as a tool for communicating with children, communicating with anyone really. And so Coop gave me a call and we've been dreaming together ever since. He had originally asked me to join their board.
Yeah. She said no.
I said, listen, I love everything you do, but I am creating some boundaries for myself to say yes less.
Yeah, board positions are a lot.
It was the nicest no ever, but it was a no.
Okay.
It was, and let me tell you, when I came here, the first thing I told her was my parents met here. Both of my parents were Turner employees. My mom worked for the Hawks. My dad worked for the Braves. So it was just like really nostalgic here. I remember ice skating here. I remember going to the arcade. I remember watching wrestling here. Like, it was just amazing. So
that is fantastic.
Like, I kind of grew up here.
Yeah, this building means so much to so many people. And to see it take on this new life.
I feel like this building has its own time and space.
Yes, absolutely.
And until you're here, like working here, you don't completely get it. Like, we can talk about it all day, but it has its own timeline.
There are times when we just want to be here.
Yeah.
I've never worked at a place where I just wanted to be. We came in one day and we were hanging out with monks. Like, it's, we got pictures.
I mean, synchronicity like you would not believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
So many stories. I need to start writing them all down because I don't. It's just in our text thread. I need to archive the text thread. And
yes, you do.
Print it out and put it in a journal and be like, okay, I'm going to start writing past this point.
And it's all organic.
I love it.
We plan nothing.
Yeah.
We plan nothing. And sometimes just letting what happens here happen is the best way to be. You know?
Well, let me say that we are like serious planners in how we work. But in terms of like letting the magic happen,
Yeah.
like my motto is always focused flexibility.
I like that.
So like you have to be focused on what you want to achieve. Like, what do we want this place to look and feel like, right? But let's be flexible in how we get there, because when you're too rigid, then the magic can't happen.
Right.
Yeah, let's be clear.
Right.
We are
Right.
Capricorns. We're not, we don't go with the flow. We create dams and rivers and make sure we know where the flow is going.
Yeah.
But within that, we read the room. We pick up on what's happening. Like, we don't just try to go one direction. We see what's happening and go with it. But yeah, no, that's a perfect way to describe it.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see where the river flows next.
Let's see.
Very exciting. Netta,
Excited.
Coop, thank you both so much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
That's it for this week. How exciting, our very first show from the center. If you would like to help us with production costs, please head over to atlartscollective.com and click the support link. And if you're enjoying the show, please subscribe, rate, and review. You can do that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, as well as YouTube. Next week on the show, Kenny Murray from WABE joins us, and we are looking forward to that. He will be in studio with us. This is all just so new and exciting. The ATL Arts Collective is part of the Wordplay Collective podcast family. Check out our sister show, In Pieces with Our Land. I'm Kim Drobes. Go support some local art this weekend, and we'll see you next week.